What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. I've got a very important video because it's the exclusive Zero tier list. Legends only, well, Legends and Mythics. But it's been a lot changed in the game. We've had heroes reworked, we've got heroes who need reworking, we've had a lot of new heroes pushed into the game. And a lot of people raised the question, where do these heroes sit? So we're doing an updated Legend and Mythic tier list because it's been a while. It's been over a month since we last did one. And before we do go into this, please do take note of my Aptoid partnership using Kazakh 5. You can save yourself a lot of money after this clip. Okay, so we're back and we've got a very special guest, a person who always helps me on my tier list because he's just so knowledgeable and we just seem to bounce off each other with information. He's tested a lot of the heroes I haven't tested, so it's great to have that input as well. And he's been playing since beta, so, you know, he's a hardcore player, he knows his stuff, and it's no little but Akos Global. So Akos, welcome to the channel. It's the first time I've had you on voice, I believe, on the channel.
Yes, hello everyone. I have been playing from beta, very experienced.
Okay, so we're going to be going over the tier list together. We're going to be discussing heroes and why they fit in these places. And it's good for you to have someone else on the channel because you can also hear us discussing different point of views as well. So we can actually grade these where they need to be graded and how we grade them. So, I mean, first things first is we've got the heroes that need a rework. And some of these have been announced they're getting a rework. Some of them haven't, but we feel that they need a rework. Madlena, Allcaster have been determined. Hal is getting one. Valentine needs one. Zakzulu needs one. Carrie is getting one. Vera desperately needs one. Shoulder needs one. Carrie is getting a rework. Horus was reworked, but he needs reworking still. Gru needs a rework. Nordak needs a rework. Now everyone else has been reworked. Sana could really benefit from one. Garena also needs a rework. Sinton, I feel like, could have a rework. Timmy, he's good, but he's so niche. I feel like he also needs a rework. Melina definitely does, because hardly anyone uses her. Lamb is confirmed getting a rework. Aisha needs one, and Gustav did get one, needs another one. Do you agree on that, Akos?
Yes, definitely, yeah.
Okay, so we're not going to talk about each hero. We're going to move up now to A. And remember, this is an exclusive Zero only tier list. These change about a lot as we get exclusives and move through. So first up, we have Ariel and Greta, who we both agree are mainly PvP heroes. They don't do anything for us in PvE, and they're just... I didn't want to have an A bracket here, but we needed to have one. We needed to have one because they just don't fit anywhere else. They don't fit anywhere else. So yeah, moving on up to A+. And one hero we both know really nothing about is Will. And we had a discussion, didn't we? And was like, well, where do we put him? But he's just got such a diverse kit. And where does he fit in PvE? He has a niche use in tower because he can remove a shield. But Akos, do you think, like, what are your thoughts on Will, the new Tiger hero?
I think he's good at A+, but I haven't tested him, so
yeah,
don't know much about him.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, and this is the hard thing when we look at tier lists, because grading each one can be very tricky, especially if we haven't tested the hero itself, which is why you should be very careful when taking advice from tier lists. Eric is a burn hero. He does require other burn heroes in that team to really take advantage of him. Another hero I haven't tested a huge amount of. I do have him on my free-to-play series. I will be testing, but without exclusives, I don't feel like he's up there. Akos, have you played with Eric at all?
No.
No? Okay. Claude is definitely dependent on his exclusives, so his AoE damage. He really heavily dependent on his exclusives. Moving over to Natalie. She, again, is another hero. Without exclusives, she's just not going to do much at all. And the same for Mai. She can be good, but she's very lackluster. She's good for Faction Abyss. Would you use her anywhere else, Akos, at exclusive 0?
No, only Faction Abyss.
Only Faction, yeah. And Thanatos, the same again. Like, where do we utilize him? Because he doesn't do enough. I mean, maybe you can use him in Red Mark Tower, a little bit in Faction Abyss, but he doesn't do quite enough damage, and he doesn't do enough of what some other heroes do. Solly, again, will need some exclusives. He can be pretty good as a defensive kind of support hero, taking damage from your other heroes. And Margarita definitely needs E1 to be useful. E0, she's definitely an A plus hero all day long. And Sindo, now we just moved a Sindo down to A plus. And why was that? Was that because of other champions that are coming to the game for PvE, Akos?
Yeah, mainly. Yeah.
It's a tricky one. Besmok is very lackluster without exclusives. Everyone should be aware of that. Slavel needs E1 to be useful. Without it, she's not good enough. She needs that extra turn at E1, so she stays A plus, E0. Tuck, again, is getting a rework. I don't quite know why, and I'm interested to see what they do with him. But without exclusive 1, he's useless. He's pretty much, he could even be in A without it, but we can use the shield on him without the freeze, so he still has a use. Megan deals hardly any damage with exclusives, deserving to be an A+. Nasil, again, very small use, only his basic attack can work. He doesn't really work very well any other way because he doesn't get an instant turn meter. Amalek, another reworked hero, but without exclusives and without fully testing him, he isn't doing enough, is he? He isn't doing enough, Akos.
Not really.
He does what is it? Because he does things like feebleness. Is it feebleness?
Yeah, feebleness and defense down and freeze. So.
All right, so yeah, we was talking about Amalek. My headset ran out of charge, so I just had to plug the cable in. So, he does have use, but not huge. Like, he's not going to do a lot against single target. He could be useful for waves. I would love to see someone bringing in some kind of input to Amalek and seeing how useful he is. But me and Akos both agree that he sits in A+ for now. Olga did get a rework, but again, she still feels lackluster, and she requires an ally to use active skill to use her passive. And she does need some exclusive still, but for me and Akos, she's still very lackluster. Taru got a rework, but it's still not enough. He's still very selfish, and he definitely needs exclusives. Maybe with exclusives he can move up, but for now he's going to sit at A+. Tifia is staying the same. She stays at A+. Little Jack is A+. Naskama is A+. He still can be good in Blue Tower, but very limited use there. PvP he can be useful as well, but this is a PvE tier list. Gramdy can be very good with CC, single target and AoE. I would like to see more people using Gramdy, but we just have so many other heroes that are very, very good. Jennifer can be great early game, but falls off later. She isn't as good as her, I'm going to call her sister, Serena, up in S, and that's why she's sitting in A+. But we're going to move on to S tier now, and we're straight in with Agatha. And you would think, like, we put Agatha at God before, but this is PvE, and she is mainly a PvP hero. She doesn't deserve to be any higher than this because she doesn't do enough PvE. Anna had a rework. She is actually now very good. Gets even better with exclusives. And, you know, in a burn team, she is just solid. Have you used Anna at all yet, Akos?
Only before the rework, but
only before.
I haven't tried.
I tried her out last night, and she's actually very, very nice. Brynhild is a PvP hero still, but she does have use, and she's going to sit in S here on this tier list. She's not strong enough in PvE, but, you know, the buff strip, that kind of thing can be useful. Terra is another new hero, and we just haven't used him enough, but he's better than Will. You know, he does more damage, and I think we you know, putting him on this same tier as the other damage dealers, Yoko, Zia, Mutu, without exclusives, I feel like he sits okay there. Same as Dario. Did we used to rate Dario at S+?
Yeah, I think he was there at S+.
Yeah. I think people are using him less, and I think there's just been other heroes added to the game that, and he's been rightly so removed down. My headset's falling out again. Okay, moving over to Luz, and he was also at S+, but he's been moved down to S without exclusives. He can do some nice AoE damage, defense down on his first active skill. He could be useful in a team, but again, there's just better options for us to use. Elena is now in S. She feels lackluster on her bleed. She is a cool hero. She has a great kit, and she reads very nice. But again, comparing her to the ones above, she's just... Do you know what? I actually feel like Alina may possibly need a rework.
That could be possible.
Zia, without exclusives, is good, but not quite good enough. Sitting on the same as these others here. Yoko, she can still hit pretty hard, but again, another hero that really needs exclusives, and we say this a lot. Hertha is a cool bleed hero, just like things like speed up to herself. She can do good damage. She sits in S, and I haven't quite tested Hertha enough. Have you tested Hertha at all at exclusive 0 and up?
I don't have first, so no.
Okay. But Slack, though, he sits in at S without exclusives. We both agreed on that one. Alahan as well at S tier. That's because he is good. And I wanted to put him at S+, but he doesn't quite match these. Like, if you was pairing him with like Albeck, maybe because Albeck has so much health and leech, and you know we can just level out our team's health. But it's hard to keep our allies alive with Alahan, right?
Yeah.
Maeve needs one exclusive. She's gonna stay at S. Taff is at S. Needs a couple of exclusives, or at least one. Turf. Oh, wait. Have we made a mistake on Turf? Because I feel like Turf's still very good. I feel like he should be S+.
Yeah, he can be, actually. He's pretty nice with the poisons.
Okay, so I apologise if anyone's seen him at S. He is actually S+. His self-survivability is very good. So he's been moved. Mutu is solid single target DPS, even without exclusives. He's very, very strong. Hisaro is a good bleed damage dealer, but he, again, needs exclusives. Bari is good, but he's lackluster. He needs exclusives to move up further. Isla, she has some use now. She has Provoke. She has a decent nuke. She has health cap increased by 50%. With debuff resistance as well for our allies, so we can put her into our team early on, mid game, late game, and get some use from her. But at E1, that's when she's going to move up. Alicia without exclusives, and we see this same kind of theme with heroes, that they definitely need those exclusives in order to move up. But she is a cool bleed hero. She does do some AoE, but she definitely needs exclusive 3 to be moving way up, because that's where she changes. Gunner, again, AoE burn, shield removal, can be very useful. Good in a lot of content. People don't use Gunner enough. He's good PvE and PvP, but the trouble is that some will excel him in certain areas, and that's why he always sits kind of in the middle. Zyra requires exclusive. She could be very good CC to begin with. She does bring a little bit more than a Cinder, but we have a Cindo in A+ ACOS and Zyra in S.
Zyra also does defense down with basic.
That's a very good point. See, Zyra also does defense down with basic. That's a very good point. Does she do attack down as well?
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Attack down and defense. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that's a big difference. Serena's a great carry early on, will fall off later on, but she can do a lot of damage for your team. Fiona sits in S here without exclusives. AoE stun. She has a revive. She has debuff resistance for one ally. She could be really, really cool for your team, but she doesn't do quite enough as a support alone. You know, she will need support alongside her as well. Okay, moving on up to S+. And yes, we've moved Turf here. He's a self-surviving poison DPS that's just very, very strong. But next to him, we have Veronica and Melot. And we need to talk about these two ACOS because they're new and we haven't tested them. but they both read amazing, right?
Yeah.
They both read amazing, and it's going to be hard because we need to see the multipliers, but the way they read, they seem absolutely solid. And if we've made a mistake, we are going to be slammed hard. You get that, right?
Yeah.
We are going to be slammed hard, but they are looking fantastic, and I really feel like they are going to sit in S+ all day long. Inna is a solid new introduction to the game. She can do AoE skill reset, very similar to Ben Austin. Very similar to Ben Austin. She also does a shield. Is that shield? Okay, it is E0. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so she, you know, she really can help improve your team survivability wise, and causing the enemies not to use their AoE skills, that kind of thing. Frick has had a huge buff sitting in here now at S+, because he does do AoE attack down 2 and crit damage down 2, which is massive for survivability in a lot of PvE content. That's huge. That is absolutely huge. Luna is moved down to S+. She's not being used as much now. We have like the likes of Paolin. Where even is Paolin? Okay, so we made a mistake, and Paolin wasn't. Oh, I made a mistake. It's not Akos. I made the mistake. Paolin wasn't in the list, but I will add the description in. You know, the image into the description. So if you want to, you know, you can just download it and look at it, share it with your friends, or whatever. Now, where was we? We was at Luna, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so Luna is still very useful, but there's just better options. There's better options to use now for your Mythic. Quinlan is solid, but he does require exclusives to move up to God. He can still be very useful, but you will need to build some speed on him on 0 exclusive. Alec moves down to S+. That's because of the likes of Paolin, because of the likes of Santa, Mammoth, Albeck. You know, we just have such a strong God ranking up here now. Elena as well is S+ without exclusives. She is still very, very good, but she does require some exclusives. And Nita is a new reworked Mythic, and she's looking very good. Very, very good. Same as Lucia has been reworked. They're going to both sit at S+ without exclusives, and with exclusives, you're going to see both of those moving up. Walter is been moved up to S+ from before, I believe. That's because his effect hit chance on his poisons is like 100% each time, meaning we can just build him with attack, less effect hit, and mastery, so we can really push that DPS. Guhana is still a top tier support. Attack rate increase, speed up, speed down, turn meter increase. Alsa is a solid support as a healer for your team. I don't have the pleasure of owning her. I would like to own her, but she is just, you know, survivability is crazy strong on her. Gilliman is, you know, I've spoken a lot about Gilliman in the past. She sits at S+. Buff removal, speed down, and a, you know, a multi-hit nuke. Also, is it debuff? What would you call that buff? The debuff? Where they can't get deep. Do you know what? I wish they would fix this. Because they have no resistance to debuffs. Well, they can't get buffs. They have buff resistance, yes? Is that right? Buff resistance. Yeah, okay. Got it. Focus sits at S+. That's because, you know, he can immortal and he can boost a turn on ally, refreshing their cooldowns as well, which is huge. Very close between S+ and God, but he, you know, he attack down as well on his basic. Space, speed down, speed up, turn meter boost, heal, turn meter reduction is massive, speaks for itself. Hoff, AoE health burn, feebleness down as well, AoE. Tenacity down, and is it feebleness down as well on his second ability, Akos? Is that right?
Yes.
Yep, and the passive Hunter's Mark. If the enemy dies, the enemy who killed him gets another go. So that's huge. He will always be there. Okmin stays at S+. Self-survivability is very good on Okmin, especially early game. You've seen it in my free-to-play series. But his damage isn't quite there anymore. I don't know if we're building him wrong, or if he's just not as good as he was in beta, because he was massive in beta, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was better. Yeah.
Okay, moving up to...
Other heroes pushed him out.
Okay, so do you think that's what it was? The other heroes pushing him out? Okay, moving up to God, and we have Paolin in at God, and everyone got him for free that was playing at the time, and he is solid. AoE stealth, AoE debuff cleanse, defense up, tenacity up, damage immunity, stripping buffs on his basic, pairs amazing with Catherine. Definitely deserves God all day long. And the reason Allcaster is in at God at E0 is thanks to the Allcaster cheese. Just let him die. You don't need to build him. He will boost up your best damage dealer with crazy damage, 160% extra damage, 160% extra effective. You don't need to explain it. He's absolutely godlike, broken. If he could have a broken tier, he would be there. Albeck moves in with the rework to God. That's because of his shield. Well, Akos, aren't you farming with Albeck?
Yeah, I'm farming Ram 35.
Ram 35 of Albeck. Crazy. The shield is huge. The immunity is huge. His damage is even huge. Just an absolute beast. The shield he gives to the allies is huge, right?
Yeah.
Mamak. I feel bad about Mamak because I said to skip him and go for Gilliman. Do you remember that? And now look, he's in at God. He's in at God. Oh.
Yeah, he's very strong.
Yeah,
Attack
he
down.
is. Attack down, speed up, taunt, buff steal. Yeah, he is very, very good. And he deserves to be in at God. Santa, I'm not even going to talk about him. He's disgusting. He broke the game. He could also be in a broken tier. Lucifer still holding God, even though these reworks are going on. He still deserves to be in a God rank. Ben Austin is in at God. That's because he can really utilize your health burners on your team or a big DPS. Sigmund stays in at God. He's a fantastic shielder. AoE health burner, can double counter attack with lots of Catherine. Catherine needs no introduction. Everyone knows how good she is. Nidrold is a very, very strong bleed. In fact, he's the best bleed hero in the game. Do you still agree he's better than Alicia at E3? Akos.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Nidroid is still the best.
Yeah, okay. Malia and Hazonia, well, everyone knows about these two, and they are still sitting at God. Malia is a single target health burner. She can hold her own without the need of, say, Ben Austin. So, on her own as a health burner, she can be very, very viable. Hazonia is fantastic AoE health burn. Really does need Ben Austin or another health burner to utilize him. But, we're both comfortable with this tier list. And we feel it's very accurate. I will add an image into the description below so that you can look at it and share it. But last but not least, I want to thank Akos for coming on this video. And I know you didn't talk much, Akos, but you was here and that helped me.
Yeah, it was nice being here.
Okay, and we'll do another one. We need to do 1 and 3 at some point. Maybe not today. Maybe do that tomorrow or something like that, or when you've got more time. But yeah, thank you again for all the input you have. The main thing is that you went through each of these heroes before the video as well, and we worked on it. So that was the main help. So again, thank you for that. And everyone, if you see Akos in the Discord, make sure you thank him for his input on this. And last but not least, have a fantastic day or evening wherever you are. Take care, everyone.